is selling. What is selling, right? So today I want to take a few minutes and share with you a new way to be thinking about selling. Because let's face it, if you had to fill in the blank, selling is what? A lot of people say it's bad, it's evil, it's, this, it's that, right? But what if selling was good for somebody? What if selling was a vehicle to transform people's lives? How would that shift the game in your values as your company if you had that mindset, right? So today, not only do we want to talk about what is selling, some of the misconceptions, some of the false beliefs, also want to give you a viewpoint of a selling system and give you a 3 simple step approach that can transform your business, regardless if you're brand new, regardless if you have a small team, or regardless if you have grown your business like I had grown our company before selling it to 175 employees, where we had over 100 representative salespeople essentially working for our company, right? Every day, doing like 300 plus presentations every single day. So I hope you're excited. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. This is going to be a great segment for you to get some great walk-away value. So what is selling after all, right? And, before we get into the full content, here's something to really be able to do. Let's assess where you are today in your business, in your ability to sell, right? So if you had to assess your sales ability personally on a low scale of 1 and a high scale of 10, right? Where would you rate yourself? Separately, where would you rate your business, right? Because your business and you may be completely separate. So on a low of 1 and then a high of 10, right? In order to get you from where you are to where you want to go, it helps to have a good reference point. Now, let's talk about some of the beliefs around selling. What are your beliefs? Like when I asked the question up front, selling is what? What did you fill in? Did you have something that was negative, or was it something that was transformational, empowering it a whole lot more? So let's talk about some of the problems that exist, because there's a huge problem around the idea, the framing, the concept of actually selling, right? And it's one of the biggest reasons most people are held back in their ability to sell what they offer, right? So according to Webster's dictionary, right? So we went on, my team really went on and found the definition of selling. And it was shocking to see like the negative framing around most of the definitions related to selling. So number 1 from Webster is to deliver or give up in violation, right? Trust, loyalty, and especially for personal gain, right? That doesn't sound very positive. Or here's 2A, to give up property to another for something of value, such as money. Now, this one's a little bit more positive, isn't it? Right? Let's go to 2B, to give up in return for something else, especially foolishly or dishonorably. Again, another negative framing. Number 3A, to deliver into slavery for money. Again, negative framing. 3B, to give into the power of another. Again, is that positive or negative framing? So is it any wonder there's 6 total definitions, 4 of the 6, almost 70% are negative in the framing from Webster's. 3C, here's a positive one, to deliver the personal services of or for money, right? A little more positive. 5A, to develop a belief in the truth, value, or desirability of, right? Gain acceptance for. That's a little bit more positive. To persuade or influence, right? To a course of action or to the acceptance of something. Again, a little bit more positive, 5B. So here's my question to you. How would it impact you, right? With those beliefs, especially the negative ones around selling. So if you or your team have some of these beliefs and mindsets around selling, how might it be costing you? How might it be getting in the way of you being able to fully enroll people in your vision, in what you do, what you offer, your product, your service, whatever it might be? And on the other hand, what if you were able to make a shift, right? What if you were able to have, like, we'll call it the ultimate sales reset, or more importantly, your team, your support people. Like when we were running our company with 175 team members, we had everybody, including like a janitor, go through our process of selling, influence, vision, values, and a whole lot more. Why? Because we wanted everybody to see themselves in the engagement or enrollment or the selling of what it is that we offered, right? So a sales reset. So here's part of that reset. See, selling isn't what you do to someone. What if it was what you do for someone, right? And that little shift can make such a big difference, right? In the culture and the values. So a quick story, my introduction to sales. My very first mentor, I was in my early 20s or late teens, early 20s. My sister got me a position in this marketing company all the way back in 1989 and 90. And I remember his name was Kerry. I won't give the last name, but his name was Kerry. And I remember him saying to me, Dan, you will never amount to anything in sales because you don't know how to speak and your teeth are so messed up. You don't have the image or the likability or trustworthiness to be any good at sales. And that was like a big hit to me in my late teens, early 20s, because I had recognized that the ability to influence or sell was like one of the highest, most profound professions in the world. My uncle actually was a vice president for Hewlett Packard. And so I was striving on this journey and then being told by one of my first mentors or bosses that I would never amount to anything. Now, I had a choice to make. I had a road to take. I could have listened, or I could have done and chosen what I chose, which was to go find other mentors, truthfully, right? So it doesn't matter where you're at. It matters where you want to go. So I encourage you to think about it. And I started studying and I started investing in programs and mentorship and coaching and a whole lot of things, literally over the course of my 3 decades, 30 plus years doing. I was invested over $1.5 million in my own self-education. One of my first early mentors was someone named Tom Hopkins. You can check out our podcast with Tom at growthtofreedom.com and just look in the episode, Tom Hopkins, right? So Tom had this great framing of what selling really is, a reframing or a reset. So selling is what? Helping people, right? Selling is helping people. And I encourage you to be thinking about what if you viewed selling as helping somebody, right? Selling is helping somebody, right? On the other hand, what else is selling? Selling is influence, right? Selling is influence. I love this definition. Yeah, I hope you love this definition. And I might be going a little quick, so you can come back and rewind this a little bit. But this is a great definition from a brilliant guy named Dan Sullivan, a strategic coach. He says, selling is getting someone intellectually engaged in a future result that is good for them so they can emotionally commit to take action to achieve that result. So many levels of, so profound as far as what that is. So how would these new beliefs serve you and your team and shift the game for you if you were really able to get them into your culture, into your way of being and operating your business, right? It could mean everything. In other words, imagine it like being the mind of a child, right? Being the mind of a child. So I want to introduce you to 3 steps that can transform your sales, right? And transform your company's ability to influence, persuade, and help more people, have a bigger impact, have a bigger reach, give you the ability to make a bigger difference, have a bigger contribution in the world. So number 1 is install new beliefs, new values related to the idea of selling and help your team define it. Like when we did this the other day, to finish my story that I started with and close this loop, when we redefined this question for them, they were like, oh my gosh, that is an amazing way to look at it. We need to have all of our team from the higher level all the way down to entry level people understand what we believe that selling really represents. What it means, it's something you can be proud of. It's something you get to do for somebody, not to them, right? So what would happen if you installed the new beliefs? Number 2 is develop a blueprint for selling, right? In your business, right? And there's all kinds of frameworks. There's all kinds of coaches. There are all kinds of people. What I want to do here for a second is I want to introduce you to a couple tools that you might choose to model from, whether you use ours or engage us to help you build it for your business, or you find somebody. But the key is to have a blueprint for selling, right? A blueprint for selling. So let me show you a couple of quick samples. All right. So the first sample I want to show you is this tool we created. And when we work with our private clients, not only do we work with this tool, but then we custom design it for our private clients as well. But this tool is called How to Sell More by Selling Less. the guide to enrollment mastery using the interview method. Now, why this tool is so powerful? Why is this important for you? Literally, we were able to take customer service people and turn them into high performers by teaching them how to have casual conversations that convert, which is really what this tool does, right? It's an enrollment mastery tool geared around interviewing and having casual conversation. So if you like that idea, you'll love this tool. If you don't like that idea, then you might want to find something else that serves you, right? But this tool, walking you through, it's basically 12 sets. Set the framework, identify something fascinating and how to do that. Why are you interested? Why now? Something called, Dan Sullivan calls the R factor question, which is a derivative of something that was created from the most brilliant minds, psychologists, creators of psychology in its early stages, Emerson, around the R factor, like what would have to happen for you to feel happy and satisfied. Narrow the focus. What's the number one thing you need the most help with right now, right? I firmly believe that if you or I or our teams make a goal to literally just get into a conversation with 5 people a day and ask the question, what do you need the most help with right now? And then work to truly be a servant leader from that perspective. In a matter of years, you'll have everything you could ever possibly want in life, right? So narrow from the focus from broad to specific, deeper the understanding. What do you feel you need to have success? Customize the offer, get agreement, verify their right fit, and enroll that client, right? So this is a tool that we built and turned customer service people into super high performers, right? That ultimately let our company grow into a couple million a month, collectively over the years. Using this tool or derivatives of this tool that we've updated and iterated and so on for almost 2 decades is, probably generated between us and our lucky clients over $100 million in business, maybe a lot more, quite frankly. So this is one tool. Here is another example of something we custom designed for our client, one of our clients, the sales playbook. So we literally took that framework of those 12 steps, and now we expanded this. And again, for sake of time, not going to go through every piece of this, but basically it's the introduction. This is the framework for success in selling, right? 6 Ps, right? It's again, the values around selling, the company, the mission, the vision, the founders, as well as the experience, the offer itself. Like, what are we selling? What students say, right? Having success stories, having other clients who are using what we offer, the guarantee, right? Because now if you have a good guarantee, which we recommend, it can reverse or minimize the risk, right? The actual script itself, in other words, the checklist that we walk through, customized to that client, as well as handling objections, other tools, voice broadcasts, leaving messages, follow-up. So ideally, you start to get the power of what this tool really creates. Setting up your cockpit, like if you have a virtual team, how do you set them up for success? What tools do they need? Training, and about the company, how to do role playing, right? The different tools for role playing. So literally, this toolkit goes through every single possible thing. And again, this is custom designed for a client. So my question to you is, if you had the checklist in place and or something robust like this as a tool for your business, how would it shift and transform the game for you? And more importantly, if you were wanting to get the weight of selling off of you and have someone else maybe that could be better than you, or a team of people better than you in selling to help free you up, how would something like these 2 tools help you? So that's step 2, is the blueprint, right? Step 1, reset the framing, the belief system. Step 2 is get your blueprint in place for your selling system. So that now leads to step 3, right? And step 3 is essentially to reinforce it, to practice it, to, create an accountability system. There's an old saying that says, tell them what you expect and then inspect what you expect, right? And that's one of the keys to building a great business, right? So you've got 3 simple steps: reframe the belief system, get a blueprint in place, and practice and reinforce it. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Dan, this is amazing. And you, of course, have a choice. You can put this in place on your own, right? Which I encourage you to do. Or you might say, well, Dan, we could use some, we have questions around this, or we could use some help around this. If you want help implementing some of the strategies we talk about, in this case, the sales, building your custom sales system for you and your team, right? And you'd like to talk about how we might be able to help you do that or answer some questions around this, let's talk. It's really, really simple. You can take the first step by going here to, schedule a time and let's talk. And let's talk about your business. Let's talk about your situation. Let's talk about some of the things you want to accomplish. And if we've got a good fit, we'll talk about how we might be able to help you. And if we don't, we'll refer you to someone who might be a better fit than we might be. So to take that step, go to breakthroughstrategycall.com. That's breakthroughstrategycall.com. We make it super simple. Go there, check it out. And by all means, I encourage you, take action with what we've shared with you in this segment. Reframe and reset the belief system around what selling is, right? For you and your team. Ideally positive versus negative. Ideally, it's what you get to do for someone, not to them, right? Consider the definitions. Consider your 3 steps. Step 1, the belief system. Step 2, get a blueprint in place. Step 3, reinforce that blueprint and accountability with your team. And if you do, I can't promise you that you'll build a company like we did that grew to over 20-some million a year, and we were able to exit and able to sell, or us working with our clients where we help them install sales systems and grew some of our clients have grown upwards of $30 million a year. And then we've had other clients who were just wanting to get freedom from the day to day, and they were happy with a 6-figure plus growth spurt add on to their model, right? And anywhere in between. Regardless, these 3 steps can help you. I encourage you, take action, put them in place, test them out for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And ideally, you can report back and let me know. And if you have questions, if we can serve you, if we can help you, again, take the first step. You can go to breakthroughstrategycall.com or reach out to us, find us on social media, respond to an email, whatever the case might be. Enjoy the day, seize the day, make it a great week, make it a great month, make it a great quarter. Make this your best you've ever had. That's it for now. We'll see you in another segment.
Thanks for listening to this episode of growthtofreedom.com. Are you struggling to get a steady flow of new clients every day? Or maybe hit a plateau or hit a wall in growing your business? Well, let's help you solve this problem today. Let's review your business and have a conversation. You can do that for free today at breakthroughstrategycall.com. That's breakthroughstrategycall.com. In addition, if you're looking for a simple way to implement some of what we've been talking about in today's episode, then I want to encourage you to get our free small business toolkit. You can get that at activate.breakthrough3x.com. That's activate.breakthrough3x.com. If you'd like access to the special resources and all the show notes for this special episode, make sure to visit growthtofreedom.com.